The WNBA recently opened an investigation into racist remarks based on the thinnest evidence imaginable that Chicago Sky's own coach, Tyler Marsh, disclosed about what he did or didn't do. We heard from Angel Reese today, and we heard from Tyler Marsh. Let's send our best wishes to Tyler Marsh, who is going to be called every name under the sun, Uncle Tom. They didn't even think to say, this is what our story is going to be and we need to stick to it. This is what our alibi is going to be and we need to stick to it. There was something noteworthy said today regarding the alleged hateful fan comments made toward Angel Reese during the Fever and Sky game on Saturday, because the Sky actually gathered for practice today and they spoke, and both the coach and Reese spoke in a statement that is sending shockwaves through basketball circles. Did Chicago Sky coach Tyler Marsh just blow the lid off this entire WNBA? Marsh admitted something that is directly calling out Angel Reese's lies. So why is the WNBA starting this based solely on the more noteworthy comment came from Tyler Marsh, the head coach of the Chicago Sky? Here's what he said without further ado, which is probably the biggest bit of actual information we've gotten since this incident. Instead of discussing the incredible game, we're talking about an incident that seems to be built on nothing but social media rumors. What exactly did Marsh have to say? What did Reese post on her social media that directly contradicts the victim image she is portraying? If you stand with the Indiana comment, I've got the Fever down below, let's move on. When asked when he became aware of the alleged remarks made during the Fever Sky game, Coach Tyler Marsh, who was on the sidelines the entire time, said, I think it's something that we heard about, and so we're just forthcoming with anything that the public finds out. This opened a whole can of worms. Aside from the actual statement, Marsh said, I heard when everyone else did that talk about the investigation with your team. I think we agree that we're in compliance with them, with the league. Obviously, there's no room or space in our game for hate, so it wasn't fine with everything else. Coach, when did you find out that hate speech occurred? I think when everyone else did. I thought that. It's something that, we heard about, and so, again, we're just forth with anything that the league. I think my focus was always on the team and the organization and doing my job as best as I could. So, yeah, it's kind of the way it is. Were you wearing this during the game or just at that moment? Oh, I was focused on our team. And I didn't see anything during the game. The Sky organization didn't witness anything during the game. And they're responding to the same social media posts we all saw. Not a single player mentioned it during the game, not even during timeouts or substitutions. Just a quick follow-up on it. The WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in society. The statement reads, we are aware of the allegations and are looking into the matter. Notice what's missing any mention of actual evidence. The game was nationally televised with multiple camera angles capturing every moment. Courtside microphones picked up squeaking shoes, player chatter, and coach instructions, but somehow missed multiple disparaging comments allegedly shouted from the. As of right now, not a single reporter seated courtside heard anything. No fans posted videos of these comments, and no one complained to security during the game. However, the telling admission is that I learned about it when everyone else did. When did you become aware of it? What does that mean that the Sky did not know or hear anything in real time or see anything in real time? That puts me in a state where everyone I speak to who is in the arena and everyone else who has spoken from the arena is telling me that in 2024, in an arena full of security wasn't notified to remove anyone, the broadcast team didn't bring it up, the commentators didn't address it, and the in-arena announcer never warned fans about inappropriate behavior. So what exactly is the WNBA looking into, since there are currently no cameras or cell phones to support the claims of hateful fan comments or fan misconduct or whatever you want to call it? This makes me wonder a lot about the investigation's foundation. The WNBA took social media rumors and gave them the legitimacy of an official investigation allegation without any game-goers confirming these claims, which is not only reckless but downright suspicious. I would love to hear on the record what the investigation is based on, because the leading theory must be that it's based on the social media nonsense. Who benefits from these allegations? The question is obvious when you look at the scoreboard. Indiana 93, Chicago 58. The Sky were completely embarrassed on their home court, and Angel Reese was completely outplayed. Let's examine what actually transpired during those 40 minutes of basketball while these phantom comments were purportedly being shouted. Another post from an account that I believe has since gone private or deactivated claimed that Reese was told certain things, but there was no evidence to support the claim that the person was present or not, whether they saw or heard anything. And if that is the case, it is embarrassing. It appears that this is based on social media. When you watch what happened on the court with 438 seconds remaining in the third quarter, Caitlin Clark was called for a flagrant 1 foul on Angel Reese. The replay shows Clark making contact with Reese's arm while attempting to defend, causing Reese to fall. Yes, it was a physical play worthy of a flagrant, but that's basketball. All of this was based on Sky fans online who couldn't handle getting the belt to the ass, who couldn't handle the beating that the Indiana Fever inflicted on the Sky there. Aliyah Boston swiftly moved between them, earning herself a technical foul for her reaction after witnessing Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul on Angel Reese and the aftermath. There is no way Angel Reese can continue to lie that she doesn't dislike Caitlin Clark, because I know what hatred looks like. She went straight for Clark, not the stands or the fans. If Reese had heard offensive remarks at that moment, wouldn't her attention have turned toward the crowd instead? The body language speaks for itself. Reese was upset about the physical play, not outside influences, and the reactions of all players involved, including Clark Reese Boston teammates and coaches, were completely consistent with a typical basketball confrontation. Throughout the entire exchange, no player ever pointed to the stands to alert officials about fan behavior or showed any reaction to remarks made by the crowd. The coaches also didn't approach the referees about fan conduct, and the officials didn't warn the crowd or call for security. There is a lot of history there with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You guys remember last year when Angel Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter's flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark on the sideline? You remember that? Yeah, baby, get her, get her. Meanwhile, the Fever were completely dominating the Sky, winning 93-58. The 35-point blowout was extremely embarrassing for Chicago on their home court, and the Sky were frustrated, outplayed, and outclassed in every way. If you heard any of these gestures or reactions, the Sky were humiliated in front of their home fans, and that frustration showed in the Clark-Reese confrontation after Caitlin Clark's foul on Angel Reese. Angel Reese attempted to hit her, but if it weren't for Aliyah Boston putting her arms in her way, Angel Reese would not be playing basketball anymore because she was going to sucker punch Caitlin Clark. Why would Angel Reese and the Sky focus on alleged fan behavior instead of addressing their poor performance? What's odd is how quickly the narrative changed after the final buzzer. The post-game responses tell a completely different story than what the cameras captured during those 40 minutes of basketball. The answer is painfully obvious. It's much easier to claim victim status than to admit that you were completely outplayed by your biggest rival. The incident that we all witnessed was nothing more than competitive basketball, with two fierce competitors getting physical, their tempers erupting, technicals being issued, and the game continuing. Initially reposting a TikTok with several pictures of herself and a picture of Clark with the offensive Birds remark, "White gal running from the fade," street slang for someone avoiding a fight. Angel Reese is going to be run out of Chicago, so let's see what she has to say first. If you listen to her voice and notice how she's on the verge of breaking down in a very funny, big speech, then it's clear that this wasn't just adding fuel to the fire, it was dousing the flames with gasoline. There is no place for that in this league, in my opinion. Let's also keep an eye out for nervous body language and twitches. Our team and organization have done a fantastic job of supporting me. I have received messages from a lot of people in this league, and they've been able to help me through this entire process. It's clear that anything can happen to anyone, including me. How did it affect you on Saturday when you were trying to do your job and play at the same time? It's obviously difficult. However, I believe that I have a great support system. I am loved by a lot of people, and it is difficult to hear right now, but my support system is great. Meanwhile, in a recent interview, Reese played the victim card flawlessly. It is difficult to hear, but you can see how she immediately positioned herself as the injured party, even though there was no proof that she had made any actual comments during the game. What do you think the league's response was coming out right away and starting that investigation? As I mentioned earlier, they clearly understand that this is the priority and that there is no place for it. They also preached, I believe, 2 days prior that there is no place for hate speech, and the women in this league are aware of that, as I believe that every player in this league deserves to be treated with respect and want to come to work, have fun, and work in a great environment. I think they did a great job putting that out, and we will obviously respond as needed. Oh, how wonderful it is to remain silent and have no one criticize you. In contrast, Caitlin Clark responded calmly to questions about the accusations, saying there's no place for that in our game. There's no place for that in society. I really wish Angel Reese would speak out against her fans calling people all these derogatory names. She went on to say that she personally didn't hear any harsh remarks from supporters, but that she trusted the league's inquiry, which was conducted professionally and without drama or victimization. I didn't hear her say anything, but that doesn't mean anything happened, Caitlin remarked, describing her flawless response. But now that Caitlin has said that, Bree Turner has said that she didn't hear her say anything, Stephanie White has said that she didn't hear her say anything, and Kyler Mars has said that he found out when everyone else and I did, with no one else present at the courtside, no cameras, no video, nothing at all. What else are we to believe, especially when the whole thing is ambiguous, particularly when the questions directed at Angel Reese are ambiguous? This is not the first time that Reese has created controversy after losing to Clark. Recall the national championship game when Reese made fun of Clark by making the "you can't see me" gesture and pointing to her finger, which would indicate the location of her championship ring. Every time Clark outperforms or remanages to change the subject, no one in those initial questions asked Angel what she saw or heard, and according to James Boyd of The Athletic, she was later asked, were you able to give the WNBA details of where the general area where you heard things? That's not a me question, she added. Then someone questioned, what would you like the league to do with those fans, implying that it wasn't for her. While the Sky circled the wagons, the Indiana Fever organization stood strongly behind Clark and condemned any type of disrespect or hatred. They let their basketball do the talking, and the 35-point thumping said it all. But Sky PR interjected, insisting she had already responded. The way this manufactured controversy overshadowed a historic moment for women's basketball is really disappointing. The game attracted 2.7 million viewers, making it the most watched WNBA regular season game in 25 years. Instead of celebrating this milestone, we're talking about unsubstantiated claims that conveniently divert attention from Reese's lackluster performance. But I really wish she would. First, someone would ask her, and then I believe she said it's hard to hear, which means that it's difficult to hear, as if you don't want to hear. The pattern is very obvious. When Angel Reese is outplayed on the court, she creates controversy off it, while Clark focuses on improving her game. Reese focuses on improving her victim narrative. One rises above the noise, the other creates it, and the reactions from their respective fan bases reflect these drastically different approaches. You can see who is actually creating the hostile environment in women's basketball by taking a quick look at social media after this. If you search for yourself, you'll find hundreds of tweets calling Clark fans derogatory names and saying that Clark should leave the WNBA over an incident that no one at the game actually witnessed. But right now, it's not a good look, especially after the season just started and you get record ratings. Caitlin Clark's back, playing awesome basketball, gets a triple-double. Fever looked great. As soon as the game began, Reese's supporters attacked not only Clark, but her entire fan base with broad accusations without any supporting evidence. The WNBA's No Space for Hate initiative seems to have been used as a shield against any criticism of Reese. If you say anything negative about her game, you're labeled a hater, you're questioning these accusations, you're being derogatory. It's a perfect way to shut down legitimate basketball discussion when your favorite player shoots 4 for 16 in a 35-point blowout loss. Angel Reese has built her brand on controversy, from the championship game antics to her ongoing social media feuds. She's mastered the art of staying relevant through conflict. Every time Clark outperforms her on the court, a new off-court drama mysteriously arises while Clark continues to make history on the hardwood. Hey, Angel, how is it to deal with the environment where people call you all those names? If it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. How did it feel? How did you handle that? Well, it's obviously difficult to hear. Did it happen to you, or did you not hear anything? That's really interesting. And while everyone is fighting over unsupported allegations, we're ignoring the absolute clinic the Fever put on Lexi Hall. Dropped 9 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals. Aaliyah Boston dominated with 19 points and 13 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell and Natasha Howard each scored 15 points. Dana Bonner became the 3rd highest scorer in history. And the entire Indiana team shot 47% from the field, while holding Chicago to just 29% shooting. That's the real story here. Angel Reese, the WNBA came out and got ahead of any wrongdoing and is now beginning their own investigation. Could you please tell us what was said, Angel? I'm going to assume that this is a complete hoax, Angel. Do you think the WNBA is the most nonsensical basketball league in the world? Next question. Oh, the numbers don't lie. The Fever defeated the Sky 46-42, and they had 27 assists. Could you please tell us what you heard when you were sitting at the check-in table, Angel, when you were acting like a complete unhinged lunatic? This controversy created the most watched regular season game in 25 years with 2.7 million viewers. But instead of talking about this dominant performance, we're arguing over social media screenshots. Drama sales and unfounded allegations create a lot of it, while Reese's supporters make baseless accusations on Twitter. And the Fever players are just winning basketball games 58. Chicago's 14 team had 13 steals and forced 17 Sky turnovers in every single aspect of basketball. The WNBA has launched an entire investigation based solely on tweets, and the Sky coach himself acknowledged that he only learned about these allegations after the game ended, along with everyone else scrolling through social media. That's not proof. It's rumors. What actually happened was that the Fever dominated the Sky in a 35-point blowout, and Clark and her teammates played with skill and class, while Reese in the Sky was completely outplayed as we look toward 2025 fans. The Fever demonstrated what it means to win with honor, while Angel Reese demonstrated what it means to lose without responsibility. If you agree with Indiana, leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next